When you undertake quality work, there is no doubt about it that you will be rewarded with quality recognition. IPM Sri Lanka's commitment to upholding higher standards of quality has been the hallmark of its success story, and the Institute has inculcated a quality culture across all its core deliverables.
Indeed, and in alignment with that, we have IPM embracing the internationally acknowledged ISO Quality Certification Program, and IPM was awarded the ISO certification 9001-2008 in June 2012 at the National HR Conference held at Water's Edge. In fact, IPM was the first professional institute to be bestowed with the ISO certification 9001-2008.
On record, after 4 years, the Sri Lanka Standards Institution, the awarding body of ISO certification in Sri Lanka, introduced the new standard ISO 9001-2015, which is in line with the global standards.
And tonight, we are very, very pleased to inform all of our valued stakeholders that IPM Sri Lanka has successfully now migrated its standards to be on par with the stringent new quality standard by fulfilling all criteria applicable for ISO 9001-2015 and has now been awarded with this new certification.
And in order to hand over this certification to IPM Sri Lanka, I would like to invite the Director General of the Sri Lanka Standards Institution, Mr. Gamini Dharmawardana, to hand over the ISO 9001-2015 certificate to the President of IPM Sri Lanka, Professor Ajantha Dharmasuri. And I would like to also call upon on stage Chief Operating Officer of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. PG Thenekone, and Director System Certification at the SLSI, Mrs. S.U. Narangoda, to join in the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is an achievement and a feat that has not been awarded very easily. There's a stringent set of quality criteria that IPM Sri Lanka has had to adhere to, and therefore we're very, very pleased, very proud, and very privileged to announce our certification, ladies and gentlemen, of ISO 9001-2015.
In appreciation, IPM Sri Lanka will be presenting a token to SLSI, as IPM Sri Lanka is recognized with ISO 9001-2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a token of appreciation to the certifying party for us. Thank you very much, and indeed we are proud to call ourselves an institution that has been awarded the ISO 9001-2015 certification. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we move on now to the next item on the agenda, and we're very, very happy to announce that we had a very successful pre-conference session here this morning, right here in this auditorium, on great HR practices. And this session, the Great HR Practices, is yet another first by IPM Sri Lanka, wherein we saw that organizations which have benchmarked practices in a variety of different performance areas have been showcased to the rest of the HR fraternity.
During this enlightening session, 4 leading corporates presented their benchmark practices to the HR fraternity. It is now our turn to acknowledge all individuals who contributed towards this worthy exercise.
I now have the pleasure of inviting Professor Ajantha Dharmasuri, President IPM Sri Lanka, accompanied by Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, to give away tokens of appreciation to the panel of judges for the Great HR Practices session.
First, we would begin by recognizing the panel of judges who shortlisted these companies for best practices. And I would like to call upon the following members of the panel on stage as their image appears on the screen.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for all of our judges, as soon as you see your names and your photographs on the screen, please make sure you make your way on the stage. We start off first with Dr. Jayanta Patiratna, Co-Chairman, Management Consultant and Executive Coach.
Followed by Mr. Samantha Ratnayaka, Co-Chairman, Management Consultant, Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jagadhanipura.
We move on next to Mr. G. Veeratunga, HR Consultant and Council Member of IPM Sri Lanka.
Mrs. Nilanthi Jayatilaka, Attorney at Law, Company Secretary and Commissioner for Oaths.
We move on next to Mr. Jayanta Tilakaratna, Attorney at Law, Company Secretary, Commissioner of Oaths, Director of Human Resources at Taj Samudra, Colombo.
Ms. Dulani Nisanka, Director, Group CHRO, Loves Holding Limited.
We'd also like to thank Dr. T. Mangaleshwaran, Rector, Vavnia Campus, University of Jaffna, Vavnia.
And finally, Mr. Peter Vijaysekara, Managing Director, Ziozes Private Limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are our panel of judges who adjudged the companies that were shortlisted to showcase their benchmark practices in terms of HR. So let's give them a huge round of applause and appreciate their services towards the great HR practices session. We'd like to request the presentation party to remain on stage and be joined by Dr. Jayanta Patiratna as well as Mr. Samantha Ratnayaka, co-chairman of the great HR practices, to join the HR party as we now call upon representatives from the various companies. We had 4 companies who had presented their presentations here this morning. So we'd like to acknowledge the representatives from each of these shortlisted companies. We start off first by acknowledging the company that presented their best practice on cultural transformation. This is the company Camso Lodestar. So let's give them a huge round of applause and welcome them on stage. We have team Camso Lodestar making their way on stage. This morning we had each of our 4 teams giving a presentation of 20 minutes followed by 10 minutes of Q&A on various HR practices that they have been benchmarked for and they are a role model for the rest of the HR community for. We had Camso Lodestar giving a presentation on their best practice of cultural transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Camso Lodestar.
Next, I would like to invite on stage the company who presented their great HR presentation based on employee engagement. Put your hands together for Standard Chartered Bank.
This morning, Standard Chartered Bank indeed educated and enlightened the audience alongside video clips as well to serve as examples of how this bank truly engages their employees on each and every level. And truly, we are very, very grateful to them for sharing their best practices on employee engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Standard Chartered Sri Lanka. We move on next to a company that gave us a presentation on their practice of employee recognition. Let's put our hands together and welcome on stage the team from DSI Samson Group. Our team from DSI Samson Group this morning spoke to us about how they reward and recognize potential as well as talent at every level of their organization, and indeed make sure that their employees are very well appreciated and deservedly so. So ladies and gentlemen, to thank them for giving us a talk on employee recognition, we now have the team from DSI Samson Group being facilitated. Let's give it up to the team, ladies and gentlemen, DSI Samson Group.
And the final company which presented their great HR practices this morning on industrial relations is Polytex Garments.
As our team from Polytex Garments make their way on stage, we'd like to remind all of you who've been here this morning on how they've made a very, very convincing presentation on dealing with industrial workers inside their factories. And you know that dealing with industry workers is a whole different ballgame, especially when there are trade unions involved. So they gave us a very convincing presentation on industrial relations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's acknowledge and appreciate Polytex Garments Limited. Thank you to all four of our teams who presented their best HR practices, and thank you to our presentation party for duly acknowledging their efforts.
Certis Lanka Security Solutions Private Limited. Certis Lanka was established in 1977 as Key Security Services Private Limited with a strength of 8, which has now grown over 8,000 employees and is an island-wide network of 12 branches. In 1995, we joined hands with Certis Cisco Security of Singapore, a wholly owned company of Temasek Holdings, which is a private investment arm of the Singapore government, and became Certis Lanka. Certis Lanka Security Solutions Private Limited has introduced the 3M concept, man, machine, method. The unique concept of integrated loss prevention services, combining Certis Lanka's manpower security with Cisco's state-of-the-art high-tech security systems. Our fully fledged training academy has now set new standards in providing the best training facilities to our employees, which include basic security, advanced security, bank security, and many tailor-made sophisticated training programs to match the demanding needs of our clients. Certis Lanka Technology and Consultancy Private Limited provides the most reliable and effective contemporary electronic security systems to your household or to your corporate premises, and can be connected to our central alarm monitoring service at our headquarters that will dispatch 24-hour standby rapid response mobile teams to react to any emergency. Our products include burglar alarm systems, CCTV systems, access control systems, and a variety of sophisticated systems. Certis Lanka Secure Logistics Private Limited has set the market standards for the secure logistics business in the country, and currently is the best established, most reliable, dependable, and recognized company which is specialized in cash transportation, cash management, cash processing, and ATM replenishment services in Sri Lanka. Certis Lanka Courier Services Private Limited, with a branch network of 31 courier collection hubs island-wide, provide domestic courier services, corporate mailroom management, mail bag services, urgent and confidential document delivery, courier on call and dedicated courier for documents and parcel deliveries, and international courier services. Certis Lanka Home Nursing and Swift Care Private Limited, the pioneers of home nursing in Sri Lanka who will take care of your loved ones in their own homes. Our healthcare services still remain unique in Sri Lanka and provide services in home and industrial nursing, doctor on call, and 24-hour ambulance service.
ambition to reach the pinnacle of success. I seized every chance, and with determination, I scaled greater heights. Along the way, even the smallest helping hand became a great strength to me. This I fully realized the day I took my country to the highest point in the world.
Dedicated to lend a hand towards all those who desire to succeed. Ceylon Bank, the bank with a heart.
වෙඩින් එකට තාම හොටෙල් එකවත් බුක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම් සුදු.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම්.
සර්ගේ පේමන්ට් එක සෙටල් කරන්න තියෙනවා.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම්. දෙකින් දෙන්නම්. දෙකින් දෙන්නම්. දෙකින් දෙන්නම්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, a Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
Ceylon personal loan කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with the heart.
Ignition system.
Thank you.
But I like rock and roll.
With that very creative and innovative entertainment act, we move on to the presentation of awards, which I would call the most exciting segment of the day, the Great HR Debate.
Yes, indeed. And for all of you who have been following the Great HR Debate, which was held this afternoon, you would know that we've had quite a tough battle between two leading corporates, which is Airtel and CDB. And we will be now announcing the winner of the one who's taking home the title of champions. But before that, it's time for us to acknowledge all of the judges. There have been contributions made by members of different panel of judges who have volunteered in support of IPM Sri Lanka, and it's time now to acknowledge their services. To do the honors of the same, let's invite onto the center stage Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, President of IPM Sri Lanka, accompanied by Mr. Ken Vijay Kumar, Chairman of the NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, and Ms. Shivanti Vijay Surya, Chairperson of the Great HR Debate 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, the panelists of judges for the Great HR Debate 2017 are as follows. Put your hands together for the Chief Judge, who is also General Manager HR Lanka Bell Limited and past President of IPM, Mr. U.A.C. Obesekara.
And as for the rest of our judges, may we invite all of the judges to please make your way on stage as soon as you see your name as well as your picture appear on the screen. The rest of our panel of judges have been Mr. Janaka Kumarasinghe, Executive Director at Kentridge Private Limited and past President of IPM Sri Lanka.
Group Captain Manoj Kapitipola, Directing Staff, Defence Services Command and Staff College, Sri Lanka, Honorary Editor, IPM, Sri Lanka.
We'd also like to appreciate the services of our next judge, Mr. Jayanta Amarasinghe, Deputy General Manager of Human Resources at Ceylon Bank PLC, alongside also being a council member at IPM, Sri Lanka.
Followed by Mr. Sarath Jayasinghe, Group HR Director, DSI Samson Group Private Limited.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Peter Dabre, Consultant HR and Administration at the Emerald Isle Group of Companies.
Followed by Professor Prasadini Gamage, Professor in Human Resource Management, Department of Human Resources Management, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, University of Kelaniya.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Lalin Katugodage, HRD Consultant Management Trainer and Senior Lecturer at IPM Sri Lanka.
And finally, Mr. Trashrex, Managing Director, Corporate Trainer, TK Consulting Consortium Private Limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, these have been our very worthy panel of judges for the Great HR Debate 2017 held this afternoon. Let's give them a huge round of applause and acknowledge their services towards IPM Sri Lanka. In addition to our panel of judges on stage, we would now like to also invite Mr. Ronald George, who has been our moderator, and Mr. Charindu Ishara, our timekeeper for the debate, to recognize them for their contribution in conducting the debate in a very, very exciting manner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Mr. Ronald George, the moderator, and Mr. Charindu Ishara, our timekeeper.
It was not an easy task for him, so I think he deserves a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the hard work put in.
We'd like to invite the presentation party to remain on stage. And we'd also like to invite Mr. U.A.C. Obesekara, General Manager HR, Lanka Bell Limited, past President IPM and the Chief Judge of the Great HR Debate 2017 to join the presentation party to give away the awards to the winners of the debate.
So it was a tight race, I would call it, between two leading entities here in Sri Lanka, CDB versus Airtel. While we call upon the two teams on stage I would like to request Himali for the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd now like to invite both our teams on stage. Our two finalists in the great debate this afternoon have been Airtel and CDB. Can we please invite both our teams on stage to come and be recognized as winner and runner-up, depending on how the results go. We have the results in our hands, but no matter which way the results tend to favor, we have to mention that these two teams have been coming here out of 8 very, very competent teams at the prelims. So being here on the grand finale stage is a great honor in itself.
We would also like to have with us on stage Ms. Shivanti, who was chairing the great HR debate and playing a very crucial role to assist us with the presentation. So, both teams are on stage. CDB versus Yatel. The results are written on this sheet of paper. Who do you think would be awarded the title of the Great HR Debate 2017?
Yes, indeed. I'm sure I can hear the suspense in the air. Everyone's waiting with bated breath, and most of all, our two teams on stage are truly awaiting the results. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now unveil the results for you as given to us by our chief judge and panel of judges. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the final round of the Great HR Debate 2017 champion of the Great HR Debate 2017.
It's a moment of happiness for Yatel as they take away the trophy titled The Great HR Debate 2017. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the runner-up, CDB.
The champions have the moment of glory on stage, Airtel. And we'd also like to acknowledge the tough fight put up by our runners-up. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and acknowledge the efforts of CDB. Nobody goes home empty-handed. CDB also has the runners-up trophy to take back to their company with pride. Congratulations to all of our winners of the Great HR Debate 2017, and thank you to our presentation party.
Throughout our legacy of 60 years,
Maliban has delighted taste buds of the people of Sri Lanka and across the world. Our global reach now extends to more than 35 countries across 5 continents, exporting products that are high in quality and taste. As a trusted national brand, Maliban's golden rule for quality has become the guiding philosophy of our company. Built on the principles of our visionary founder, Maliban thrives on delivering products of exceptional quality with value for money. Maliban then went on to become the only biscuit company in Sri Lanka to win the prestigious ITQI award in 2013 and 2016 for all flagship brands. Numerous other accolades of Maliban include the Global Performance Excellence Award in 2012 and 2016 and the CNCI Award clinched during the years of 2013, 2014 and in 2015. Maliban is also the only food company in Sri Lanka to win the National Quality Award for 3 consecutive years. Maliban Biscuit Manufactories, the nation's premier biscuit manufacturer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now entering into one of the most exciting events of the day, which is just about to begin. The presentation of awards for those men and women and organizations that have contributed towards promoting best people management practices in the world of work.
Indeed, I'm sure many of you are excited before we begin the presentation of awards, and we'd like to announce that the first award category in this segment is IPM Sri Lanka People Leaders. This award is organized by IPM Sri Lanka in partnership with 5 professional bodies, namely the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, the Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka, the Chartered Institute of Marketing Sri Lanka Region, the Computer Society of Sri Lanka, and the Institute of Supply and Materials Management.
The significance of IPM Sri Lanka People's Leaders Awards is that it is an award that recognizes non-HR professionals from other disciplines for their commitment to uphold best practices in people management in their respective functional areas. The winning candidates are chosen by a panel of judges comprising eminent industry professionals and academics based on an independent evaluation. The Unique Awards program aims at promoting best people management practices among all management disciplines, and the awards in particular recognizes people managers who have excelled within their respective professions.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the award winners for the IPM Sri Lanka People Leaders Awards 2017, first and foremost, we'd like to acknowledge our panel of judges. They have truly volunteered their time and service in support of IPM Sri Lanka, and it's now time for us to recognize their services, and to do the honors of the same, may we invite to center stage Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, President IPM Sri Lanka, and Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, Chairperson of the NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, as well as Mr. Anura Panditage, Chairman of IPM Sri Lanka, the National HR Excellence Awards 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the panel of judges of the IPM Sri Lanka People's Leaders Awards 2017. The Chairman, Head of Human Resources, Pan Asia Banking Corporation PLC, and an immediate past President of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Rohita Amrapala.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we read out the name of the panel of judges, may we request them once again to come up on stage as soon as you see your name and picture on the screen. We now continue with recognizing the rest of the panelists. We also had Mr. Dhammika Fernando, General Manager, Chief Operating Officer at Tropical Findings Private Limited, immediate past Chairman, Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association, member of the National Labour Advisory Council and council member at IPM Sri Lanka.
Followed by Professor Rohan Kuruppu, Adjunct Professor, School of Fashion and Textiles, RMIT University, Australia, Chief Executive Officer, Brandix College of Clothing Technology.
We'd also like to acknowledge Dr. Pavitra Kailasapati, Senior Lecturer, Department of Human Resource Management, Faculty of Management and Finance, University of Colombo.
Followed by Dr. Sunil J. Navaratna, Senior Advisor, Ministry of Social Empowerment and Welfare, and former Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Sanjay Bandara, member of the Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka and partner at B.R. De Silva and Company.
Also put your hands together for Mr. Sanjika Pereira, past Chairman, CIM Sri Lanka Division, Country Manager, Sabri Travels Network, Sri Lanka.
We'd also like to invite Mr. Nalin Silva, President of the Institute of Supply and Materials Management, Group Director, Pan Global and Group Director of Focus Marine.
Also Mr. Jawaharlal Migoda, President, Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka, Deputy General Manager, Ceylon Electricity Board.
And we'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Yasas Abhay Vikrama, President of the Computer Society of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our panel of judges. Can we please give them a huge round of applause and acknowledge their services?
I would like to invite the presentation party to remain on stage and invite Mr. Rohit Amarapala, Chairman IPM Sri Lanka People Leaders Awards 2017, and Mr. Lasantha Vikramasinghe, President, CS Sri Lanka, representing the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka on stage to give away the awards to the winner of the IPM Sri Lanka People Leader Finance Award.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to reveal the winner of the People Leader Awards. And we start off first with the finance category. We're very happy to note that in this category, we have two joint winners. And we will begin by reading their citations, followed by the names of the awardees. Winner, People Leader Finance 2017. Our first winner is a leading accountant and finance professional holding membership in many recognized professional institutions: accounting, banking, corporate secretarial, and economics. He's a past president of ICA, SEMA, ACCA, and OPA Sri Lanka. In 1981, his MBA dissertation was adjudged the Best Management Thesis of the Year by the British Institute of Management. In 2014, he was inducted into the Chartered Accountants Hall of Fame. And in 2015, on the recommendation of the Constitutional Council Lanka, His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena appointed him as the Chairman of Finance Commission. In 2016, he received the Presidential National Apex Award for Professional Excellency from OPA.
Who is the other winner? He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka with a Bachelor of Commerce, a special degree, and Master in Financial Economics. He's an accomplished executive with experience in the field of financial management, corporate governance, strategic management, and public relations. He is an innovative and a result-proven senior professional with a sound track record of 35 years' experience in achieving positive business results by developing strategic business alliances. He is a highly effective leader with demonstrative ability to successfully manage teams, meet large-scale deliverables, and ensure enterprise success with honesty, integrity, and high ethical standards. Currently, he works as an additional general manager at National Water Supply and Drainage Board.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who are our joint winners for this first category, People Leader Finance 2017? Since we have two winners, we will be reading out the names jointly and invite them both to come up on stage. The first of our two joint winners, ladies and gentlemen, for the People Leader in Finance 2017 is Mr. Udita Harilal Pallihakara, Chairman of the Finance Commission of Sri Lanka.
And he will be joined by the other eminent receiver of this award, Mr. Dushmanta Thodavatta, Additional General Manager, National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a joint winning moment tonight at the National HR Conference 2017. Please put your hands together for these two gentlemen.
Here we have two eminent personalities in the field of finance. Joint winners, Mr. Udita Harilal Pallihakara, Chairman of the Finance Commission of Sri Lanka. And we also have our other winner,
Mr. Dushmanta Thodavatta, Additional General Manager, National Water Supply and Drainage Board.
ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to award winners for People Leader Finance 2017.
We would like to thank Mr. Lasantha Vikramasinghe, President Sri Lanka, and request the rest of the presentation party to remain on stage. And we invite Mr. Brian Selvanagam, Chairman, CIM Sri Lanka region, representing the Chartered Institute of Marketing on stage, to give away the award to the winner of the IPM Sri Lanka People Leader Marketing Award.
Well, our winner in the marketing category, his profile reads as follows. He works for a local multinational, Laughs Lubricants, as CEO, and is the youngest CEO in the lubricants industry in Sri Lanka, competing with 12 multinational giants. He has the experience of over 15 years in the corporate world in areas of shipping, banking, IT, insurance, telco, power, and energy. In the corporate field, he has been responsible for marketing management, business analytics, and strategic leadership. He's professionally qualified in sales and marketing, IT, HR, finance management, and has also completed his MBA and is currently a doctoral candidate. In addition, he is also a lecturer and trainer specialized in areas of sales, marketing, strategic management, corporate reputation, and business management. It's with great pride that we now reveal to you our award winner for the category of People Leader Marketing 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Executive Officer of Laughs Lubricants and Car Care, Mr. Niroshan J. Piris. Ladies and gentlemen, our award winner for People Leader in the marketing category, we have Mr. Niroshan Piris, CEO, Laugh Lubricants and Car Care. Congratulations to you. We'd now like to thank Mr. Brian Selvanayagam, Chairman, CIM Sri Lanka Region, and we'd like to request the rest of the presentation party to remain on stage while we invite.
We would like to invite Mr. Dayan Rajapaksa, who is the immediate past president of CSSL, to assist us with the distribution of the award to the winner of the IPM Sri Lanka People Leader IT Award. CEO of Intermat Private Limited, studied at Richmond College, Galle. BSc Engineering graduate of the University of Moratuwa, Electronics and Telecommunication. Obtained MBA from University of Hull, UK. A chartered engineer, started engineering career at Sampath Bank as systems engineer, followed by Bilpos Software UK, Millennium Information Technologies, Dialog Axiata, FITIS, Presidential Secretariat at Mobitel. Secretary of Computer Society of Sri Lanka, founder president of Moratuwa Peradeniya Engineers Reunion, served in Presidential Task Force on IT and Knowledge Hub Steering Committee, represented Sri Lankan athletics, and World University Games 1992, Sheffield, UK. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner of People Leader IT 2017, Chief Executive Officer, Informatics Private Limited, Mr. Damit Hettihewa.
Here we have on stage, ladies and gentlemen, the award winner for the category of IT in our People Leader Awards 2017. Please give it up to the Chief Executive Officer of Informatics Private Limited, Mr. Damit Hettihewa.
We would like to thank the presentation party. And also on a note, this year the panel has decided not to make any award under the People Leader Engineering and People Leader Supply Chain segments.
We'll be back with the rest of the awards in just a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, after giving away the first segment of awards, the People Leader Awards, it's now time for us to move on to the next segment, which is a national level initiative undertaken by IPM Sri Lanka to recognize sound and vibrant people management practices in the world of work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the IPM Sri Lanka HR Leaders Award.
IPM Sri Lanka HR Leaders Awards recognize the efforts of the HR and L&D professionals within private and public sector entities by acknowledging groundbreaking initiatives and innovative HR practices adopted by them, thereby creating value within the business landscape.
Awarded under 3 KRIs of the HR discipline, talent acquisition, learning and development, and industrial employee relations, people-oriented individuals who have produced benchmark results in these key HR facets will now be awarded with prestigious HR Leader Awards in recognition of their overall contribution and excellence in these HR practices.
prior to revealing the winner tonight of this category, let us first felicitate the panel of judges. And for that, I would like to invite on stage Professor Janta Dharmasiri, President IPM Sri Lanka, followed by Mr. Ken Vijay Kumar, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Andhra Pandithage, Chairman of the IPM Sri Lanka National HR Excellence Awards 2017, to give away the token of appreciation to the judges.
And while our presentation party makes its way to center stage, we'd now like to acknowledge our panel of judges who have been instrumental in helping us select the award winners for the IPM Sri Lanka HR Leaders Awards. And once again, at the very outset, may I tell our judges that as soon as you see your name and your picture on the screen, please feel free to make your way to the stage. We start off first with the chairman of the panel of judges, Mr. Ajit Bopitia, Chief Executive Officer of Tree Consult and Honorary Treasurer of IPM Sri Lanka.
Followed by Dr. Bhadra Arachige, Senior Lecturer, Department of HR, University of Sri Travathanapura, Council Member, IPM Sri Lanka.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Sampath Jayasundara, CEO Director, Senate Business Solutions.
Followed by Mr. Kamini Namdagunabodhana, Managing Director, Sagar Resource Development Consultants Limited, Senior Advisor, United Professionals Movement.
We also have Major General Lal Gunasekara, retired, Head of Student Development and Learning Resource Center at SLIT and the former Deputy Vice Chancellor of KDU.
And finally, Mr. Dhananjay Jayakuri, Senior Industrial Relations Advisor, Training Specialist, the Employees Federation of Ceylon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our panel of judges to help us select our HR leaders. Can we give them a huge round of applause and acknowledge their services?
I would like to request the presentation party to remain on stage and invite Mr. Ajit Bopitia, Chairman of IPM Sri Lanka HR Leaders Awards, to give away the awards to the winners as follows.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start off first with the HR leader in the category of learning and development. And it's now my pleasure to read out the profile of the winner. The winner counts 26 years of executive experience in both public and private sector in carrying out employee training and initiating HRD programs. He has been in charge of HRD departments, creating a learning culture while getting the commitment from higher management, planning training, allocating resources, conducting training, and motivating employees for learning. In addition to this, he has also linked key result areas of HR and training with business strategies, formulating training strategies for talent acquisition as well as development, which are all of the above are his responsibilities. He's currently employed at NSB as the Chief Manager of Training, where he focuses on development of key competencies of the staff, such as banking operations, product knowledge, customer service, and IT. He also advocates continuous professional and leadership development by providing various opportunities like local and foreign training programs. Previously, he has also been employed at the David Peary's Motor Company Private Limited, Readyware Industries Limited, Ansell Lankas Private Limited, Coca-Cola Beverages Sri Lanka Private Limited, and at SLICM. Ladies and gentlemen, our award winner for the HR leader in learning and development is the Chief Manager of Training at National Savings Bank, Mr. Saminda Veerasena. here we have our HR leader in learning and development, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Saminda Veerasena, Chief Manager Training at National Savings Bank.
And we move on with the presentation of awards at the National IPM Conference 2017. The next category is titled HR Leader in Industrial Employee Relations. And in this category we have 2 winners. And the citations are as follows. Obtained Bachelor of Science Special Degree from the University of Ruhna and obtained his Master of Business Administration degree from the Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jagadhanapura. He has completed the course of work and research leading to his PhD in Human Resources at the University of Sri Jagadhanapura. He has published research papers in human resource management in prestigious international and local journals. He is a regular member of the faculties of University of Sri Jagadhanapura, University of Peradeniya, University of Colombo, and the National School of Business Management. He is a member of the Career Guidance Council of the University of Ruhna. Counting over 20 years of experience in human resource management in local and multinational organizations. Presently serves as the head of human resources in a leading commercial bank in the country, Sampath Bank PLC, overseeing the careers of 4,000 employees. His contributions to Sampath Bank and the field of HR is demonstrated in this instance as a true strategic business partner, where he has been able to convert strengths of industrial relations to sustainable business growth through unique HR practices, which are instrumental in achieving exceptional business performances.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we announced, we have 2 winners in this category of HR Leader in Industrial Employee Relations. And the profile of our second winner goes as follows. He graduated as an officer cadet from the Sri Lanka Military Academy. He served in the Sri Lanka Army and retired as a major in 2001. He then joined the apparel industry as HR manager and has 16 years of experience in managing HR in the local as well as multinational apparel companies. He's a member of the Wages Board for the apparel industry and currently heads HR in Polytech's operations of the SQL Group. He's a certified business result coach by ICF. He attended the IR and HR ERPM in HIDA Tokyo, Japan. He also attended the PQHRM program from IPM and is a certified job evaluator from Hay, USA.
And we are about to read the winners. The first winner of HR Leader in Industrial Employee Relations is... Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Head of Human Resources, Sampath Bank PLC, Mr. Lalit Veragoda.
And this is a joint award, so our second award winner is the Head of Human Resources at Polytech's operations for the SQL Group, Mr. Indika Gamage. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our award winners for the HR Leaders in Industrial and Employee Relations. As already mentioned, we have 2 winners in this category, Mr. Lalit Veragoda as well as Mr. Indika Gamage. Let's give it up for our award winners, ladies and gentlemen, for the HR Leader in Industrial and Employee Relations.
We would like to thank the presenting party. And on note, the panel has decided not to make any award under the HR Leader Talent Acquisition segment this year.
We'll be back shortly with the rest of the awards.
රූප පෙට්ටියේ ආඩම්බරේ වර්ණ ගෑවේ ආලින්දේ
දැන් රටටම පේන TV1 ඔබත් අදම ටියුන් කරන්න tv1.lk වෙබ් අඩවිය හරහා ඔබේ අදහස් අපට යොමු කර අදම අපේ පවුලේ නොම්බර එකේ සමාජිකයෙක් වන්න
මේක තමයි එකේ නොම්බරේ
TV1 රැස් විහිදෙන ජීවිතේ.
This is Yes 101.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone.
Just say yes to Yes 101 and 100.8.
बाजे रे बाजे रे बाजे रे ढोल बाजे
इसकी गोल 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 तो ढम ढम बाजे ढोल
हाँ हाँ छोरा है नटखट बोली है पटपट पर छेड़े तुझे बोले ऐसे बोल तो ढम ढम बाजे ढोल
बाजे रे बाजे रे बाजे रे ढम ढम ढोल बाजे ढोल बाजे ढोल बाजे के ढोली तारो के ढोली तारो के ढोली तारो हे ढोल बाजे ढोल बाजे ढोल बाजे ढोल के ढम ढम बाजे ढोल हे हे छोरी बड़ी अनमोल मीठे मीठे इसके बोल आंखें इसकी गोल 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 तो ढम ढम बाजे ढोल
With that piece of entertainment, we move on with the presentation of awards. The next award is the PQ HR Professional of the Year Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, the PQHRM HR Professional of the Year Award recognizes the contributions of young PQHRM professionals within the world of work. PQHRM graduates who have fulfilled their individual, organizational, and societal obligations through creative and innovative people management practices are recognized through this award.
First, we would like the panel of judges to be felicitated for their services rendered. And for that, I would like to invite on stage Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Ken Vijay Kumar, and Chairman of the IPM Sri Lanka National HR Excellence Awards 2017, Mr. Andra Panditagay, to give away the tokens of appreciation.
Well, as our presentation party makes their way to center stage, as we read out the names of the panel of judges, a reminder for the panelists to please come up on stage as soon as you see your name and your picture on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the PQHRM HR Professional of the Year 2017 panel of judges are as follows.
To start off with, the chairman of the panel and consults in Human Resources and Administration, Dutch Lanka Dweller Manufacturers Limited, President-elect OPA and past President IBM Sri Lanka. Put your hands together for Mr. Lalit Wijetunga.
We'd also like to acknowledge the rest of the panelists on the panel of judges, Mr. Aruna Jayasekara, Group Chief Human Resources Officer, Sampath Bank PLC, and Council Member of IPM Sri Lanka.
Next, Mrs. Kumudini Valmilagay, Director Human Resources, Ceylon Biscuits Limited.
We'd also like to thank Mr. Bandula Pereira, Group General Manager Operations, Malaban Biscuit Manufacturers.
And finally, Senior Assistant Director General, Head of Litigation, the Employees Federation of Ceylon, Mr. Deta De Alves.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are our panel of judges who've put in the hard work, the sweat and the toil to be able to shortlist and then finally come to the award winner of this award, PQHRM HR Professional of the Year. Let's give it up for our panel of judges and appreciate their services rendered in this regard. Thank you very much to our panelists. And it's now time for us to invite Mr. Lalit Vijay Tunga, Chairman of the panel, PQHRM HR Professional of the Year 2017, and Mr. Somesh Das Gupta, President of NIPM India, to join the presentation party on stage. And we'd also like to request Mr. Anura Panditage, Chairman of the IPM Sri Lanka National HR Excellence Awards 2017, to now come forward and read the citation for the award winner for the PQHRM HR Professional of the Year Award.
Dr. Ravi Fernando, Guest of Honor, distinguished invitees, participants, ladies and gentlemen. As quoted by Aristotle, in the arena of human life, the honors and reward falls to those who show their good qualities in action. As the chairperson of the awards committee, I am privileged and honored to give the names of the best HR professional year of the 2017. Let me share my reminiscence about how this gender movement became possible today. This concept was introduced in 2011 by then President and Council members in order to evaluate and to ensure that students who graduate from IPM every year are doing their best, applying tacit and explicit knowledge they have gained in the field of duties. And we have witnessed their best of achievements in the past few years of this grand occasion. Therefore, before bestow the winner of this year, it is a must that we appreciate the winners of the recent past. Distinguished invitees, participants, the ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as you are about to witness the winners of prestigious award of the past 2 years. 2011, Mr. Riley Tisera. 2012, Madhushan Raigamagi. 2013, Akash Shettiarachi. 2014, Mr. Gihan Mendes. 2015, Nirosh De Silva. And 2016, Ms. Shivanti Vijayasurya. The moment we all have been eagerly waiting for has arrived. It is my pleasure that I get to disclose how deserving the awardee is of this award. A proud product of Anula Vidyalaya, who completed her studies in languages stream with a dream to become an ambassador. Instead of dreaming, she woke up and worked towards achieving her dream and found that her true talent is in human resource management. After successfully completing her PQHR with IPA, she joined SLITAD to sharpen her skill in training and development. She is now a double-barrel gun with her professional qualification in human resource management and human resource development. She also holds an MBA from the Cardiff Metropolitan University. An ardent fan of public speaking, who is an active member of Toastmasters International, she has won international speech and humorous speech contest conducted by TMI and has represented Sri Lanka in India and got placed. She is currently serving as an area director and holds Advanced Communicator Gold and Advanced Leader Silver title offered by Toastmasters International. She is not only good in public speaking, but also in ballroom dancing. She carries over 12 years of HR experience and is now working for Printkia PLC as Human Talent Development Manager.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that fascinating introduction to our award winner, it's now our privilege and our pleasure to introduce to you the winner of the PQHRM HR Professional of the Year 2017. Manager, Human Talent Development at Printcare PLC. Please give it up to our award winner, Miss Nishadi Chaya Vikramadara. Ladies and gentlemen, as Nishali Chaya makes her way on stage, we have to, of course, acknowledge the fact that she's contributed a lot in terms of a young PQHRM professional and has indeed made us proud. She stands here proudly as the second lady recipient of this prestigious award, the PQHRM HR Professional of the Year. Let's give it up for our award winner, Miss Nishali Chaya Vikramadara. Congratulations.
We would like to thank the presentation party for assisting us with the distribution.
Over the last 154 years, PwC has built the world's leading professional services network with over 195,000 people in 776 locations across 157 countries. It is this deep experience of helping professionals become business leaders that is embedded into all PwC's Academy programs. PwC's Academy is the learning and education business of PwC Sri Lanka and part of a growing network of PwC's academies present in over 35 countries worldwide. PwC's Academy Sri Lanka has successfully completed 300 hours of teaching for over 150 C-suite level decision makers.
What I found was the course was quite informative. There was a lot of great examples. The lecturer was quite proficient.
And I think we should do more of this. And it's a great program.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope temperatures are rising in this room, because if not, it will be as soon as I tell you that we've now come to the final segment of the most coveted award of the evening. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our final award, which is the IPM Lifetime Gold Award 2017.
The IPM Lifetime Gold Medal is the highest achievement ever to be presented in the sphere of HRM in Sri Lanka. This award recognizes the efforts of those visionary people, managers, who have made a meaningful contribution towards uplifting the human resource management profession in the country.
Individuals who have made a worthy contribution to propel HRM as a value-creating profession by contributing at organizational, national, and global levels in a strategic, operational, and/or an advocacy role within the HR discipline are recognized by this prestigious award.
Selecting the best out of the best is not an easy task. We have a panel of eminent judges who are behind selecting the best and awarding the highest award which can be achieved tonight on this platform. In order to felicitate the panel of judges, I would like to invite on stage our keynote speaker, Dr. Ravi Fernando, accompanied by Professor Janta Dharmasuri, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Ken Vijaykumar, and the Chairman of IPM Sri Lanka National HR Excellence Awards 2017, Mr. Andrew Panditagay, on stage to give away the tokens of appreciation to our eminent panel of judges.
It's indeed a tall task, ladies and gentlemen, to select a visionary leader and an individual who has over years and decades of experience indeed proved their worth in HRM field by contributing not just at an organizational level but also at a national and a global level. So I'm sure we're all waiting with bated breath to find out who wins themselves this coveted award. But before that, it's now time to invite on stage our panel of judges and acknowledge their efforts. Let's start off with the chairman of the panel, Mr. MC Mathupala, Management Consultant.
Followed by Professor HHD MPO Pata, Senior Professor of Human Resources Management, the Durham Doctor, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, University of Sri Javadanipura.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Sunil Disanaika, Director Chief Executive at the SWRD Bandaranaika National Memorial Foundation.
Followed by Mr. Malik Khadar, Attorney at Law, former Senior Advisor to the Ministry of Finance, former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka.
We'd also like to acknowledge Mr. Chamath De Silva, Chairman at Water's Edge, Colombo.
And finally, Mr. Ken Vijaykumar, Secretary to the panel of judges, Honorary Secretary, IPM Sri Lanka.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are our eminent panel of judges who helped to choose the IPM Lifetime Gold Award winner. Let's give them a huge round of applause and acknowledge them for their services. It's now time for us to invite Mr. MC Mathupala, Chairman of the panel, IPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2017, to join the presentation party while thanking the rest of the panel of judges. We'd also like to invite the immediate past president of the IPM Lifetime Gold Medal, Dr. Jayantha Pathiratna, to please join us at the lectern and read out the citation of this year's winner.
Distinguished personalities on stage, distinguished invitees in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It gives me immense pleasure in introducing to you the IPM Lifetime Gold Medal winner for the year 2017. The recipient of this award hails from a family of leaders in the northwestern province. On completion of his university education, he served in leading government and private sector organizations. After successful completion of his professional education in human resources management, he became a professional member of the Institute of Personnel Management, Sri Lanka. In the year 1992, he joined Korea Ceylon Footwear Manufacturing Company Limited as the Human Resources Manager, and he transformed the organization into a value-adding, dynamic corporate of excellence, and due to his excellent performance, he was promoted to the post of Assistant General Manager. He joined Ceylon Leather Products Limited in 2004 as Group Human Resources Manager and was responsible for converting the previously government-owned organization to a vibrant private sector organization implementing various activities, including achieving the ISO certification and other recognized awards to the organization. In the year 2008, he joined the Associated Newspapers of Ceylon Limited, the leading and pioneer print media company in Sri Lanka, as the head of human resources, which had over 2,000 employees at that time. In 2010, he joined SLT Human Capital Solutions Private Limited, a subsidiary of Sri Lanka Telecom, as head of human resources. Presently, he is employed at Dutch Lanka Trailer Manufacturers Limited, an associate company of renowned Tata Group of companies, as a consultant, human resources and administration. Wherever he was employed, being an authentic leader, he was a visionary and a man of principles who believed in operational excellence. As a result, he was able to make a sustainable contribution to those organizations. He became an active member of the Institute of Personnel Management in the year 2000 and held different important positions in the council. Ultimately, he was elevated to the prestigious position of president, which he held for 3 consecutive years from 2007 to 2010. As the president of the Institute of Personnel Management, he transformed the institute into a dynamic and vibrant professional body whilst bringing HR into the forefront of the corporate world. Some of his landmark contributions to IPM were: he initiated and completed the second stage of the IPM building project during his presidency. First time in the history of IPM, he organized live presentations of renowned HR gurus in the world, such as Professor Dave Ulrich and Professor Rob Goffey. He arranged the first visit of Professor Ulrich to Sri Lanka in collaboration with SIMA Sri Lanka. Signed MOU with Northumbria University, Newcastle, UK, to follow the MBA for PQHRM past finalist. He increased the annual revenue of IPM from 46 million to 120 million rupees during his presidency. He increased the student base from 2,100 to 4,000 students. He was also instrumental in designing and construction of the state-of-the-art members' lounge of HR House. Some of his significant achievements beyond IPM are Vice President, Asia Pacific Federation of Human Resources Management, 2010-2011. He was instrumental in obtaining the recognition of human resources management as a profession by the Organization of Professional Associations of Sri Lanka. The pinnacle of his achievement was election of President-elect of the Organization of Professional Association of Sri Lanka for the year 2016 and 17. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Personnel Management of Sri Lanka, and he has represented IPM in several international forums in various parts of the world, including England, Canada, Australia, and Taiwan. He is a fellow member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Training and Development, the Institute of Certified Professional Management Managers Sri Lanka, and a life member of the Organization of Professional Associations of Sri Lanka. He is also a member of Institute of Management UK and the Institute of Management Services UK. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to the HR profession, both locally and internationally, he was conferred a number of awards such as International Pride of HR Profession Award at the Asia Pacific HR Congress in India in the year 2009, Lifetime Achievement Award in HR at the Asia's Best Employer Brand Award in Singapore in 2012, and Lifetime Achievement Award in HR at the Global HR Excellence Award in Mumbai, India in 2013. Therefore, ladies, without much ado, let me introduce to you the winner of the IPM Lifetime Gold Medal Award for the year 2017. Incidentally, my batchmate in the IPM National Diploma in Human Resources Management in 1997, a remarkable personality that you see on the screen.
Mr. Lalit A.P. Vijayatunga began his career in HR as a manager of HR and administration at Electromechanical Components Private Limited. Over the years, Mr. Lalit Vijayatunga has progressed to becoming the head of human resources at renowned companies like the Associated Newspapers of Ceylon and SLT Human Capital Solutions. Currently, he is the consultant of HR and administration for Dutch Lanka trailer manufacturers. Mr. Lalit Vijayatunga is a fellow member of the Institute of Personnel Management, Institute of Training and Development, and Institute of Certified Professional Managers. He is also a member of the Institute of Management Services and Chartered Institute of Management in the UK.
HR is a highly respected job in the organization, challengeable and highly respected profession. Therefore, I choose HR as my career profession.
Mr. Vijayatunga has been a chairman of technical sessions at the annual conference of OPA Sri Lanka in 2013 and a chairman of the concurrent session at the National HR Conference organized by IPM Sri Lanka in 2003. He also chaired the concurrent session of the Arabian Society of Human Resources Management in Abu Dhabi in 2011. His contribution to IPM Sri Lanka has been immense. During his presidency at IPM, Mr. Lalit Vijayatunga initiated and completed the second stage construction of the IPM building project. It was during his time that IPM Sri Lanka signed an MOU with Northumbria University, the PQHRM past finalists, to follow the MBA program in the UK. Under the presidency of Mr. Vijay Tunga, IBM Sri Lanka grew with an increased student base of over 4,000 students. His other contributions as an HR professional includes initiating the implementation of 100% tax relief for EPF contribution at the retirement of all private sector employees with the collaboration of government officials, including His Excellency, the President.
Every organization needs a HR professional, whether the organization is big or small. Today, the competition is very, very important. So every organization is facing the competition. To meet the competition, the organizations need best talent acquisition, knowledge workforce, skill development, reduce the absenteeism, reduce the labor turnover. Who can do it? Only HR professional can do it.
Apart from his achievements and contributions locally, Mr. Lalit Vijay Tunga has been part of many international conferences, including the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development in the UK, a Global HR Forum in Dubai, Asia Pacific Federation of HRM held in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Australia. The Heads of Nations meeting of the World Federation of Personnel Management Association held in Melbourne was another of the conferences attended by Mr. Vijay Tunga.
My success story is dedication, devotion, commitment, hard work, and integrity.
In 2009, Mr. Vijay Tunga bagged the International Pride of HR Profession Award at the Asia Pacific HR Congress held in India. He has also been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award in HR and the Asia's Best Employer Brand Award held in Singapore in 2012. The following year, Mr. Lalit Vijay Tunga won the Lifetime Achievement Award in HR at the Global HR Excellence Awards held in Mumbai. Currently, Mr. Vijay Tunga is the President-elect of the Organization of Professional Associations of Sri Lanka, an apex body of 47 professional associations representing 33 professions in Sri Lanka.
My advice to young HR professionals, you need to continually develop your career path. You have to share your knowledge with your fellow professionals as well as the senior practitioners of the profession. IPM is the best venue for you to share your knowledge, learn HR, and develop your skills.
The time has come for us to present the most prestigious award tonight. And the winner of IBM Lifetime Gold Medal 2017 is for Mr. Lalit A.P. Vijay Tunga.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an award that deserves a standing ovation for all of his exemplary performance over the last many decades. Our IPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2017 going to the Consultant Human Resources and Administration Dutch Lanka Trailer Manufacturers Limited, President-elect of OPA, past President IPM Sri Lanka. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lalit P. Vijay Tunga. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the applause going because this is truly an exemplary achievement. The IPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2017 award winner, Mr. Lalit P. Vijay Tunga.
Indeed, a moment of happiness and a moment where we celebrate awarding Mr. Lalit A.P. Vijay Tunga, who is the winner of IPM Lifetime Gold Medal 2017. As we bring to close today's session, I would like to invite Mr. Ken Vijaykumar, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, to propose the vote of thanks.
Dr. Ravi Fernando, our keynote speaker, and the members of Head Table. First of all, I would like to thank the patience of the participants. They have been here from morning, almost full day, not full day, it's 1.5 days. So thank you so much for your patience, all the participants. Organizing a conference of this magnitude is not an easy task. It is dedicated effort by many stakeholders of IPM Sri Lanka. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable Minister for his presence today. He is a chief guest despite his busy schedule. Our sincere appreciation goes to Dr. Ravi Fernando, our keynote speaker, Dr. Ravi, for a special visit to Sri Lanka, especially for this conference all the way from France. Thank you, Dr. Ravi. We would like to thank our principal and co-sponsors. There are many of them having supported us tremendously. If not for them, it would have been a difficult task for us to have a mega conference of this nature. Thank you, all our sponsors. Our speakers for technical sessions, Ms. Mara Tolya, Mr. Raj Raghavan, Mr. Saman Vimalaratna, our very own Professor Ajanta Dharmasri, President of IPM Sri Lanka, Mr. Esther McIntosh, Miss Bindu Vinodan, Ms. Smita Murthy, Ms. Shahara Jayawardena, Mr. Carl Cruz, Mr. Jagat Patirana, and Mr. Ajit Bopitia, our moderator for the panel discussion. Thank you so much. They will be adding color for this conference by sharing their expertise tomorrow. The foreign delegates from India, Malaysia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, thank you so much for gracing this conference. I trust our friendship will continue from strength to strength to establish a larger HR forum in the Southeast Asia. Our sincere appreciation to the NHRC Technical Committee Chairman, IPM Past President, Mr. Chris Sobesekara, National HR Exhibition Committee Chairperson, Primrose Mascarenas, the great HR practice the co-chairman, Dr. Jayanta Patiratna, and Mr. Samantha Ratnayaka, the great HR debate chairperson, Ms. Shivanti Vijaysurya, and the awards committee chairman, Mr. Aruna Panditike. Thank you for your efforts. The judges of great HR debate, the great HR practices, and the HR Excellence Awards, thank you for your support in selecting the winners in a most transparent manner to uphold the ethical standards of IPM. Thank you all. The IPM students who performed here today, thank you for the wonderful performance. It's an example how IPM could add value not only to their professional development but also to showcase their personal talent. Thank you so much. A big thank you to IPM President Professor Ajanta and the IPM Executive Council for supporting me and the NHRC committee in spearheading this conference. Our event coordinators, Anusha, Lasita of Herald Holdings, the BMICH CEO, Mr. Sunil Disanayaka, thank you for your great support. Last but at least, my beloved NHRC committee members, the IPM COO, Mr. PG Tennakon, Himali Dasanayaka, the manager, IPM member services and the secretarial affairs, and all IPM members of staff. Not for your support, it would have been possible to have a largest HR conference in Southeast Asia. Also, there are many well-wishers who helped us in several ways. We regret our inability to mention their names individually due to the time constraint. Finally, my wife, Nilu, and my daughter, Lichelle, for allowing me to sacrifice my family time towards the HR fraternity and towards the IPM as well. I take this opportunity to welcome all the participants for the cocktails on behalf of the IPM Council. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ken Vijayakumar, Chairman NHRC 2017 and Honorary Secretary of IPM Sri Lanka, for delivering the vote of thanks. Although the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, tomorrow we have the technical sessions, so all those who have registered for the technical sessions, please be here at 8:30 a.m. and register yourselves before entering the sessions.
Well, it's now time for us to invite all of you to join us for cocktails and fellowship, and this will be held at the Sirimao Bandaranaike Conference Hall in the adjoining building. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you for joining us here tonight at the inauguration of the National HR Conference 2017, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Enjoy the rest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for now, it's good night and God bless.